how about the book length? A standard nonfiction category includes business, self-help, political science, history, and psychology, medical field, etc. Okay, if you write a book about real estate, hey, this is standard nonfiction. If you're writing a personal development, yes, you can write all kinds of books like that. Internet marketing, you're doing some kind of sales, motivation. You're doing even photography. We will tell you what the structure is of such a book. You're talking about raising children, how to have an amazing relationship with your spouse. That could be a book. And this will be standard nonfiction as well. Now, for such a category, aim for 50,000 to 80,000 words. Okay? If you go with a publisher, a traditional publisher, 80,000 words is often the limit. Anything above that would be just too bulky. Mine was around 60,000 words, okay? And at 260 words per page, I ended up with 280 pages. That's the easiest way to do it. Now the structure. The structure is how many chapters you have in your book and how long each chapter is. The structure is the foundation for the book. The structure yields the book content. Okay, it's the skeleton of your book. Once you have the structure, you can put meat in, and the meat comes from your interviews, so to speak, and all the ideas you have, things you read, things you listen to, things you learn in conferences, etc. From your experience, your personal story, right? Your personal philosophies, all these things are the meat of your book. But you need the structure first. So we will start with the structure. Get inspired by the title to get a good structure. Mine was The Muslim Entrepreneur, 10 Success Principles from the Greatest Muslim Entrepreneur. So naturally, I had 10 chapters right away, just from the titles. Naturally, I will add an introduction as well. Decide what your chapters will be. Choose to divide your book between 2 and 20 chapters, okay? Unless it's a very fast-paced, typically it's fiction, you want to have 12 pages at least in a chapter, if not more, right? Now, let me put a parenthesis here. If you have 12 pages in each chapter, it means that your book should be at least 100 pages long. Anything less than that, anything less than 80 pages or 70 pages, that's not a book. That's a booklet, okay? Please don't call it a book. Call it an ebook or a booklet, something like that. It doesn't feel like a book. So aim to get to 100 or more, really, for your book. It will help you. 90 minimum, really. Now, if you have very short chapters, that would be a book like Dan Brown, Digital Fortress. He wrote the Da Vinci Code as well, #1 bestseller, really worldwide. Made millions of dollars from his books. But if you study those books, they are very fast paced. Sometimes the chapter is only 1 page long, 1 page long. Another author is James Patterson that does fiction, okay? And his chapters are very short, very, very short, and very few words, but he's making around $100 million a year writing books, okay? This gives you the potential a book can have, but this is for fiction. Now, for your business book, you don't need to make it too bulky, but don't make it too thin either. Aim to get to 100 or more pages. Give each chapter a name. You can change them later. Just give them a name temporarily. Now, let's talk about the 15-15-10 method. This is a method that lets you organize your book very quickly. So step number 1 is what I've done. You'll have an Excel spreadsheet that will allow you to fill in this information here, a template. Step number 1 is put in 15 major topics for your book, okay? In any order. Mine were the need for a success philosophy, the Muslim advantage, mentorship, mastermind principle, confidence, imagination, persistence, work ethic, critical skills, etc., until wealth building strategy. And I got 15 major topics. You see, how do I get those major topics? Well, what do I want the book to be about? It's first of all about entrepreneurship. It's about being a Muslim. It's about making money. And some of the skills that are required to become successful, that kind of thing. So I just got my topics right away. 15 major topics. And then out of those 15, I choose 10 topics, and I put them in sequence. So mine were the Muslim advantage, the need for success philosophy, etc., until persistence and habits and wealth building strategies. Now, if you look carefully, I kind of cheated. You see, number 6 is persistence. Number 9 is habits. What I did was just combine the two, okay? And I put it in chapter 9, persistence and habits. It's actually in chapter 8 in the final editing of the book, okay? Critical skills becomes chapter 9. But this is just a template to put in all the information, okay? Very easy to do. Cut it down. Take out whatever you don't need. For example, confidence. Confidence, I chose to put it in attitude, okay? The attitude of the Muslim and etc. Accurate thinking. All those things will be in the attitude. Using duas to set goals, I transformed it into goals. Okay, these goals are bigger than just dua. Dua is a big thing, but I chose to make it bigger by putting goals, and then dua will be a good section of that goal. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then, so again, I had 15 major topics. I cut it down to 10, and I put it in sequence, how I want them to appear in the book. And then step number 3 is write 18 ingredients to go into the chapter. Okay? So this chapter is chapter number 1, the Muslim advantage. What does the Muslim entrepreneur have as an advantage? What does he have? Well, I put just 18 ideas that come into my mind, really. So I got this idea, well, the prophetic character is certainly one advantage. Someone to model, a role model for us. And Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Qadr, we believe in Qadr, it is. We believe in social justice, zakat. Zakat is a very Islamic thing, etc. We talk about riba being oppression in our religion, etc. So the Muslim entrepreneur has an advantage, and I put all these things dua, international reach, work as part of worship. I just put everything that came to my mind. So 18, put in 18. If you don't have 18 right now, well, just think about something, okay? It's not difficult to come up with 18 points. Out of those 18, I chose 15 topics, okay, out of those 18, and then I put them in sequence. Just get rid of 3 that you think are redundant or that are included in some of the points you pointed out. So 15 here, and I put it in order. This doesn't have to be your final thing, but it gives you a foundation, because then later on you can work on the order, etc. Don't put too much thought into it. Just put in order temporarily, so to speak. And then for each step, I transform each step into a significant statement. Now, number 1 was positive programming for wealth in Islam, right? I want to transform that into a sentence, meaning it has to have a verb. Islam is positive towards wealth in business. Okay? Number 2 was dua. I transform into dua is one of the additional means of attaining success. Okay, I make it into a sentence. And number 3 is international reach. I transform it into a sentence. Islam is a universal religion, not bound by constraints of time and space, etc. And I do it for all the other points. I transform it into a statement, a significant statement. So I make it into one sentence. I make it into one sentence whatever I want to say about that point. Okay? And then I don't stop at the sentence. What I'm going to do is transform the sentence into a question. So the sentence was, Islam is positive towards wealth and business. Okay, this was the first point here. I'm going to transform it into a question and watch. Why is Islam positive towards wealth? Okay, and I do the same for each of the points. Dua is one of the additional means of attaining success. I transform it into a question. What is the importance of dua? Okay. So if you don't know how to ask a question, just put in what or why or how. Those 3 will make your sentence into a question. Okay. So let's say number 4 was, work has the same status as worship in Islam. I transformed it into, what is the status of work and the work philosophy. Okay? And then once I've done it for each sentence, once I transform each sentence into a question, I answer those questions using 3 words. Okay, make it simple. And I put 3 answers. You have to put in 3 answers for each question. Now, for the first one, it was, why is Islam positive towards wealth? I put in wealthy prophets, okay, and companions. So, wealthy prophets like Sulaiman alayhi salam, etc., Dawood alayhi salam. And companions, we think about Abu Bakr, Usman, radiallahu anhu, okay, and Abdurrahman ibn Auf. You see, Just having an answer to the question gives me a lot of content. Then answer 2, why is Islam positive towards wealth? Because we ask for wealth. Number 3, answer 3, I say wealth is good for all humans and Muslims are human. Okay? So what is the importance of wealth to upgrade your lifestyle and have a good life as a human as well? Now, the second question was, what is the importance of dua? Well, I give 3 answers. Dua gives results. Allah expects dua. Allah loves dua. And dua is positive programming for success. Okay? These are my answers. And I will show you how to fill in the answers in a second. Now, let's go to question 5. Question 5 was, how does zakat help spread the wealth? And I put in 3 answers. Mercy, okay? Zakat makes you merciful. Answer 2 is more equitable, right? And number 3 is zakat encourages entrepreneurship. Okay? Question number 6 was, what is the role of responsible profit making? I talk about social impact. Okay? Answer 2 is responsible citizenry. Question number 3 is good causes, contributing to good causes, etc., etc. Okay? And I do it for every question in this list here, 15 of them. I give 3 answers. Don't give 2 answers. Don't give 1 answer. Give 3 answers. And you will see it's absolutely amazing. Once you've done this, okay, the book becomes easy. It's a breeze of fresh air. Now fill in the points. For each of the 3 points above, okay, for each of the 3 answers you gave, talk about that point using the answers. Try using the same terms as written in the answers. Okay? Stick to that point for 3 to 7 minutes and you're done. Now, let me give you an example here. Actually, let's talk about the speaking method before. The speaking method, this is my original method. I came up with it. This is not something I read in a book. This is what I use to write a #1 best-selling book in record time, really, because the writing didn't take over a month. The research did take some time, okay, and resources, etc. But the writing was a breath of fresh air. Now, the speaking method, what you're going to do is take out a high-quality sound recorder. A good cell phone will do the job, or a microphone. What I use is my Samsung Galaxy S4. If you have an Apple, iPhone, just a device that will allow you to record a good quality sound. Okay, it doesn't have to be something separate. A good cell phone is the best, really, because you can walk down the park, okay, while recording. You can go to the beach and record. You see, you don't need to be sitting behind a desk to write your book. You can just keep recording, getting ideas. That's what I was doing. I was just walking down the street and recording. People were looking at me like I'm crazy. But that's how I got the book done. Okay? While going to the groceries, I wouldn't take the bus or, I would just walk to the grocery shop. And while walking, I would take my cell phone and record. It only takes 5 minutes. And 3 to 7 minutes per idea around those answers that you found. Okay, and that's it. You can hesitate. I had a lot of etc. But I had to pause. I could pause it